Welcome to Thursday, and for the first time in the Coast2Coast Racing League's edition of Thursday Night Thunder, the series goes to Lucas Oil Speedway. And Coolray, the Coast2Coast Racing League, along with Flatline Racing Bodies, presents Thursday Night Thunder. And of course, with a new edition of Thursday Night Thunder, we always begin the evening with the UMP Modifieds, and the UMP Modifieds are brought to you by our good friends at Flatline Racing Bodies. And we welcome you to our pre-race show brought to you by our good friends at Tim Chapman Racing. So glad you could be joining us here on the Coast2Coast Racing Network. I'm Marty Sikala. Well, we've got a good one set here for you. Don't really know what to expect too much of here at the Lucas Oil Speedway, but we should be in for a good treat here. UMP Modifieds in their fourth week, in their fourth edition of Thursdays. We get right to them as we begin things off, as always, with qualifying. Qualifying brought to you by the ABR Setup Shop. And we'll get your first driver out onto the speedway. It's the driver of car number 71, the Professor John Hine. John Hine in car number 71. As you see your favorite drivers on the racetrack pop up on the bottom of your screen. Hines starting to make the outside work here just a little bit early. Track is currently, looks like it's slicking up here just a little bit. As we come off of turn 4, Hines already got his first lap set at a 15.627. But Aiden Young goes to the top, 15.283. That's better by just about a tenth of a second at the moment. So nice lap for Aiden Young, but Nick Vickery looking pretty good to go to the top. He goes fourth quick on lap number 1, 15.463. Slower in the beginning of sector number 2. See if he can improve it a much better lap, and he can, 15.454, but stays fourth quick. Dustin Sargent coming across the line. He is 9th quick. Randy Shreves now on the racetrack in car number 56. As he begins his first lap, give you your point standings coming on in for the UMP Modifieds. Joseph Grandy, the points leader, up 12 on Brandon Templeton. Nick Vickery, 3rd, 19 points back. 24 back in 4th is John Hine, and then 5th with 191 points is Malachi Smith. Randy Shreves goes 15.37 on lap number 1. That's good for 3rd quick on the speedway. Try and see if he can improve it, and will not. A slower lap here for Randy Shreves across the line. Only one driver we're waiting on here. Just going to confirm that everyone is all set. Just waiting for Riley Burr to make his way on the racetrack if he wants. He's got just over 30 seconds. He may be adminning tonight. I don't think he is. Nope, Riley Burr is not. He'll start from the rear in his heat race. So that will do it. And the ABR Setup Shop Quick Time Award goes to Aiden Young in car number 69, 15.293. So we're set to go here. Heat race number 1 brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. We'll have 2 heats here set for you. This first one with 6 cars, and here is how the starting lineup looks. Just 1 second. We're going to update this for you. There we go. John Hine and Nick Vickery make up row number 1. Row 2 is Lucas, Randy Shreves, and Aiden Young. And in row number 3, Dan McLaren and no Riley Burr. It will just be these 5, so we'll have 10 drivers here in our first race with the UMP Modifieds. You may notice, by the way, as well, we don't have a lot of people here for the UMPs. We may not have a lot of people tonight because a bunch of them are probably partying in Oswego right now. It is Super Dirt Week, ladies and gentlemen, and we hope you're having a fun and spectacular Super Dirt Week at the moment. Go one more lap here before we take the green flag. Of course, brand new facility in Lucas Oil Speedway. Let's break it down here for you. Just about 4/10 of a mile, seating 8,000, known as the Diamond Dirt Tracks. 10 degrees in the corners, 4 degrees in the straightaway. Based in Wheatland, Missouri. Tight corners, but thrilling action. So we're set to go racing here. We're glad you could join us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Heat 1 brought to you by Langdon Mechanical underway. And contact already between Vickery and Hine. The Professor gets away with the lead. Stickers falls back to third early. Vickery trying to take a look underneath on Randy Streets for second spot. Not going to work here as Hine leads lap number 1. Higher exit for John Hine. That's the way you want to go here with these UMP modifieds. When you're making a left turn, pretty much you're turning right like a majority of the time. And you got to be careful as well hitting that wall. When you hit that wall, it's like you're hitting the entire side of the car with it. You see Vickery trying to get a run inside. Quickest car last lap, 15:45. 3 laps are in the books. Here comes Shreves underneath on the Professor for the race lead. See if Shreves in that LGR Motorsports number 56 can go to the point on the field, and Everlotti on the exit compared to John Hine. Hines leads the lap of the line. On board with the 00 of Vickery as top 3 currently nose to tail. Here's a look at that 4-car battle courtesy of Ace Designs. The Ace Design drone. 3 wide for the race lead. Hine gets the advantage at the start-finish line. Vickery trying to thread the needle here. Will be 2 laps to go when we come to the line. Stickers with the slide job up on the Professor. And Hine now the one stuck in the middle. Hine gets into Vickery once again, and Shreves is off the pace. Sideways he goes. Coming down to the 00 and the 71 for the win in this heat race. Who's going to start on pole tonight? There's the bumper from John Hine. Doesn't work, though. Down the back chute, final time in Heat 1. Coming to the checkered flag, Nick Vickery will take the win in Heat 1. John Hine second, Aiden Young third. Dan McLaren finishes 4th. Randy Shreves will finish 5th. Wow, what a start to the evening, folks. So heat race number 2 about to get underway. Heat race number 2 brought to you by Magnum Race Design. Magnum Race Design. Painting a lot of awesome paint schemes here with this for the series. And while we're at it, let's get you your starting lineup. Jeff Barker and Joseph Grandy on row number 1. Grandy, the points leader, coming on in. Row number 2, Malachi Smith and Lance Ripka, and starting from 5th is Dustin Sargent. Magnum Race Design with iRacing wrapped hero cards, logos, flyers, and even t-shirt designs. Check them out on Facebook and like them at Magnum Race Design. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great Super Dirt Week as well. Let us know who you're rooting for. Not just in Super Dirt Week, but also in tonight's race. Of course, with it being a Thursday night, we just have Pro Stocks and 358s at Super Dirt Week. Hello to Dean if he's watching at the hotel room when he gets back from his 18-hour shift. Randy says in the chat, stupid Oculus. All right, here we go for Heat 2, set to take the green right now. Side by side off the corner as you watch from the Ace Designs drone. Grandy's got the preferred line with all the moisture in it. See who's going to lead the lap of the line. It's Grandy. Barker second, Ripka third. 3 cars under a blanket in this battle for the lead. Sargent, meanwhile, gives a little bit of a bumper to Smith. Grandy should get the edge here off of turn 4, and he does with that preferred line. But Grandy, meanwhile, trying to fight back. Leads for right now as you look at that awesome speed shot going to turn number 1. Not a lot of yaw coming from Jeff Barker. Smith in 4th, by the way, the quickest lap last time by. 15:49. Everyone else in the 15.5s or 6s. Grandy trying to find a way to clear Barker, but just continues to hug the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Cushion starting to be developed just about. Ripka, meanwhile, ripping the top of the racetrack. Up to 2nd spot he goes. Barker, meanwhile, thinking about a send-off at turn 2. Doesn't work for him. On board with the 513. Ripka taking away 2nd. 2 laps to go in heat race number 2. The 125 clears now on Barker, trying to chase down Joseph Grandy for the heat win. Barker taking a peek underneath once again. There you see the white flag, 1 to go in this heat. Barker tries to send again on Lance Ripka. Down into the 3 and 4 here. Checkers are waving, and it's going to be Joseph Grandy that'll take the win in heat race number 2. Ripka 2nd, Barker 3rd, Smith 4th, and Sargent 5th. So the heats are complete. Now it's time for our Flatline Racing Bodies warm-up watch. Gotta love our good friends at Flatline Racing Bodies. Based out of Clarence, Iowa. Dan Chapman making quality racing bodies. Also a former NASCAR regional short track champion. Sure, your times here. We'll step away. First feature of the evening coming up in just a moment. Warm-ups are complete. John Hine is quickest, 15:3:43. Well, we are set to go for our first feature of the evening. Let's meet the field. Here is the Super Dirt Car Series starting lineup. On the front row, stickers, Nick Vickery in the 00. Next to him, Joseph Grandy in the 518. Row number 2, the Professor John Hine in car number 71, and Lance Ripka in the 125. Row number 3, Aiden Young in the 69, and Jeff Barker in the 513. Row number 4, Soupy Dan McLaren in the 88, and Malachi Smith in the 013. And rounding out the field from 9th spot on the grid, Randy Shreves in the 56, and Dustin Big Money Sargent in the 377. Great view there from our Ace Designs drone, making amazing renders in iRacing. Make sure you check them out on Facebook. One lap until we get the green flag here at Lucas Oil Speedway. First time ever at Thursday Night Thunder. Again, so glad you could join us here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network for a Thursday night spectacular. 30 laps here around Lucas Oil Speedway. Green flag is out. Had some technical difficulties. We apologize for that. Nick Vickery gaining away, though, with the early race lead as they make their way off of turn number 2. Lap number 1 going up in the books. Vickery leads them. Grandy second. Hine, though, taking a peek underneath on the points leader in the 518. That's your best battle on track for the runner-up spot. Hine tries to go for the slider, but instead goes up the track, allows Grandy to get clear control of second. Doors Hine for just a moment as they come across the line. Hine tries to fight back with another slider of his own. Meanwhile, Ripka up to 4th as he's past Aiden Young. Ripka fading back, Young fading back just a little bit. Hine once again testing the bottom waters. Doesn't seem like anyone really wants to go down there. Aiden Young fading back big time. He is trying to test the low side out, and nothing is working at all. Meanwhile, Grandy all over Vickery here for the race lead, on board with the points leader. Gives a little bit of a bumper to Vickery. And Grandy takes a peek underneath. Oh, look, Al Hine rubbing wheels, and he's up in the wall. And remember, those licks with the UMP modified can be pretty bad. And meanwhile, Hine gets Grandy a little bit sideways. They stack up. Around goes literally just about everybody. Barker is on his lid. We're under caution for the first time tonight. Yeah, you can see that coming, that's for sure, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is from another angle. Hine and Grandy, they just rub together. Literally I believe every single driver was involved in that wreck. Here's the view from the Ace Designs drone. Everyone was involved except for, I think, Randy Shreves. So Vickery's still out in front. Let's ride on board here with Grandy real quick. Is a couple moments away from going back to green. Lifted up in the air. So 2 drivers already in the pits. Not not the race that a lot of drivers want. As we've completed 7 laps. When we come back to the green flag, John Hine and Nick Vickery, row number 1. Lance Ripka, Dan McLaren, row 2. Aiden Young rounding out the top 5. Randy Shreves is next to him. Stickers against the Professor, part number 2. Here we go, back to green. That restart brought to you by Mission 22 as Vickery slides up in front of Hine. Behind may get a run up on the outside. He cuts him off. Close call from the top 2. Vickery slamming the door in Hine's face. And keeping the race lead. Meanwhile, 3 wide for third. Young may have something working in that Cool Race 69. McLaren, meanwhile, taps the wall for just a moment. And McLaren gets away with third just for right now, though. Best battle on track is right here for fourth. Ripka high, wide, and handsome. Almost shot the gap up the middle to go 3 wide. Leaders are approaching some lap traffic as Joseph Grandy, who somehow is the last car on the lead lap still. Young washes up the track for just a moment. Gets right in front of Randy Shreves at the 5th spot. Meanwhile, Vickery continuing to lead. 1/4 of a second between him and Hine. It could turn out into a battle for the race lead. On board with stickers. These two always have a fun-affair brawl on Thursday nights. They've been known for it a lot. High side the place to be right now. Nobody taking any risks really on the bottom except for Aiden Young. You see Aiden there, he has moved to the top of the racetrack. Not worth the risk to him. Meanwhile, watching for the race lead, Vickery and Hine, the Professor just being very patient. Meanwhile, you got Barker and Grandy in front of the top 2, and they are racing for a position, so keep that in mind. May get a little bit risky. Let's watch the third battle. McLaren, Ripka, and Young. As the cushion's starting to get a little bit thinned out here. But now the question is just how high can you go? There'll be 11 laps to go here across the start-finish line. You saw Hine get a little bit higher on exit, allowing Vickery to pull away. But now how is it going to go when the leaders catch up to lap traffic? That's going to be the big turning point in this race. Meanwhile, for the bottom step of the podium, Ripka trying to take a peek underneath McLaren, has second thoughts on it. May have been a little bit of a bumper from Ripka onto Soupy. Opens up the door for Aiden Young with 10 laps to go. Meanwhile, Vickery opening up the gap, 1.1 seconds on John Hine. Vickery better by 1/10 of a second that last lap. You see he's starting to work on Joseph Grandy, and Hine is fading big time to Dan McLaren. This could get interesting for second spot. Aiden Young still in 5th. Shreves and Smith. Oh, caution, Joseph Grandy has spun it in turn number 2, and this just got a whole lot more interesting. Take a look here at our Malcolm's Mills mill riding replay. Was battling Randy Shreves. Took a peek underneath. Oh, he got the Tory tire in turn 3. Tough break for him. Let's ride on board here with Joseph. Bam! Right there. Well, that yellow was not what Nick Vickery wanted. That yellow sure what John Hine wanted was back 1.2 seconds. He has a fast car, a lot like Vickery does. So here we go. Vickery leading, Hines second, McLaren third. Ripka fourth, Aiden Young rounds out the top 5. Here we go into the Mission 22 restart. 7 laps to go. Vickery holding serve on Hine. Could be a half second here when we come across the start-finish line. Only guy on the bottom is Randy Shreves. Hine trying to scrub the top off for just a split second. Meanwhile, Shreves and Smith go to war for 6th on the racetrack. And Smith gets away with that spot. 5 laps left. Now is this where somebody decides to get a little bit risky, tests the bottom, and tries to set up a slide job? That's the big question. We'll just have to see. Young all over Ripka for the 4th spot. There you see the sun. Randy Shreve still working the bottom. And the slider works on the exit. So Randy takes away 6th from Malachi Smith. And there are 3 laps to go. Vickery still up by a half second. Smith fights it back with a slider of his own. The best battle on the racetrack. Going to be 2 to go here at the start-finish line, meanwhile, for Stickers Nick Vickery. 7/10 of a second lead on John Hine. Would be his 2nd win of the season. He won at Williams Grove 2 weeks ago. White flag is out, final lap for Vickery. 3rd in points, coming on in. Can drop a 10th place finish here this season. Other than that, it's a multitude of 1st and 2nds. Off turn 4, Stickers wins at Lucas Oil Speedway. Hines 2nd, McLaren 3rd, Ripka 4th, Aiden Young rounds out the top 5. Top 3 will pose for a photo. And we will talk with your top 3 here once they get in. Good start to the evening here. Vickery and Hine having a great battle in the first half of the race, but in the second half, it was all Nick Vickery. Don't forget we got our 358s coming up next. And we've got them all here. We've got them all. Let's begin with our 3rd place finisher, Dan McLaren. Dan, walk us through your race tonight.
90% luck, man. These are probably my worst cars to drive, my least favorite, but you know, I just love racing in general. But that was a lot of fun. Congrats to my teammate Nick Vickery on the win and John on 2nd.
Overall positives that you take away.
Just be patient and some, a little bit of luck in your side and get a podium.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Everyone over at Spartan Racing, VMR Wraps, WeldStar Custom Fabrications, Coast2Coast Racing League, and you guys for putting on the broadcast.
All right. We'll let you go, man. Great job.
Thanks, Marty.
Dan McLaren, our 3rd place finisher. Our 2nd place finisher tonight is John Hine. John, just talk about that second half of the race and just what happened leading to you fading away there in those final laps.
Well, unfortunately, I had some contact with Grandy earlier in the race there, and I, apologize for that. It was just kind of a racing deal. But once I got damaged, because um, there was 2 hits there. When he came out of the corner as we were going around on the top, he hit me hard enough it threw my nose up in the air, and I think that probably damaged it. And after that, I was just kind of hanging on, and um, second's not bad. I feel fortunate. I feel like Dan was probably coming, and if he probably had about 4 or 5 more laps, he probably would have got me there. So we'll bring home a second and move on to the next one.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Just the usual suspects, Cool Ray Heating and Plumbing, the Cruise Shop, VMR Wraps, Gambler Motorsports, all the guys on the team there, just a great group of guys. I can't thank them enough for, helping me have fun on this thing. I hope they do too. And I'd like to thank my wife, who very supportive and lets me do this an awful lot. So I need to thank her, and I'd like to say hi to my kids, Danny, Cassie, and Dylan there, and tell them hi.
Absolutely. All right, man. Let you go. Great run. Hopefully we see you later tonight.
Yep, hopefully. I'll be back for the Pro Lates.
Absolutely. Sounds good. John Hine finishing in second position. Now it's time to go to Cool Ray Victory Lane and talk with our race winner. Nick Vickery gets it done. Stickers, it was all you for those 30 laps tonight. Just talk about how good your car was.
Yeah, the car felt really good. It, I felt like I don't think there's any secret that. I don't think there's any secret that I prefer the top side. So, once the bottom kind of went away, the bottom was fast in practice and in qualifying and everything else. But once the bottom went away, I just felt like the track was going to kind of come to me, and I tried to play it safe, there at the end and not go off. I don't know if you guys caught it or y'all were watching me in that last lap, but in 1 and 2 on the white flag, I almost went off. And so it's definitely something to take note of for the rest of the night.
What do you expect moving forward here? Looked like the only groove that was working was the high side here. Is that what we'll see throughout the night tonight, or could there be a chance that, we see multi-groove racing with the 358s and the late models?
I don't know. I think it's more likely with the 358s than it is the late models, just because of the momentum and the power. But I think a big key to tonight and finish up front is going to be where you start the feature. It's kind of one of those things where you got to question yourself if you want to play the invert or you want to try to get the bonus points for qualifying in the top 5. So, you just really got to figure out what you want to do and then try to make the best of however qualifying turns out.
All right. Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
I definitely got to shout out Spartan Racing. You interviewed Dan just a second ago. So Dan got 3rd and then Lance got 4th, and they were really close together. So couldn't really ask for much more out of Spartan tonight so far in the UMPs, and look forward to carrying it into the next 2 races. After that would be VMR Wraps. If anybody needs a wrap, come check us out on Facebook at VMR eWraps. I got to thank Andy over at Cool Ray. He does a lot for a lot of leagues, so definitely got to shout him out any chance I can get. And then also Got Your Six Racing Network. Joe Halter has a good thing going on Friday night, so if you don't have anything to do or you don't have any plans or whatever, definitely go check out his league on Friday nights. It's called Friday Night Lights. And, of course, I got to thank you for putting on a great show, and I look forward to going back and watching it tomorrow.
All right, man. We'll let you go. Congrats on the win tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Win number 2 of the season for Nick Vickery as he is in Cool Ray Victory Lane. Here are your official results from tonight's event. Only the top 10 to worry about. Vickery wins it by 3/4 of a second. John Hines 2nd. Dan McLaren 3rd. Lance Ripka 4th. Aiden Young 5th. Randy Shreve 6th. Malachi Smith 7th. Dustin Sargent 8th. Jeff Barker 9th. Joseph Grandy in the 10th position. All right, we're going to step away here and take a break. Coming up next, the 358s on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
This October, some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte and the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, presented by the Dirt Alliance. Fixed 360s, Pro Late models, and small block modifieds collide for 7 action-packed nights in a pursuit of a guaranteed purse of $1,500. 3 champions and an overall world champion will be crowned. Register now for this great event. Go to c2crl.com for more information. The World Finals run from October 21st to the 27th. 100% of registration goes to Mission 22 in their fight to end veteran suicide. A joint effort between the Coast2Coast Racing League, Friday Night Lights, and Dirt Track Bank, a division of Malvern Bank. Don't miss it.
In our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray & Carrier. Turn to the experts.
The 50th Napa Super Dirt Week, October 3rd through the 9th. Racing, music, camping, and more. It's the 50th running of racing's biggest party, October 3rd through the 9th at Oswego Speedway. Don't miss the superstars of dirt car racing go wheel to wheel. Then stay for the live music and entertainment. Get your tickets now at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. Be there.
And we welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. The 358 Modifieds are out on the Speedway. 358 Modifieds are brought to you by the Super Dirt Car Series. Super Dirt Week underway right now, by the way, in Oswego. A little bit of an update. Opening ceremonies ended a couple moments ago. We are now into Pro Stock Heats. Of course, Dirt Vision has all the action, but I know what you'd rather be listening to. You'd rather be listening to me. Hello to Isaac Salas. Last time I heard he was in Dallas, but he's probably in Syracuse. Saying good job winning, Nick. What's going on, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Hopefully I see you this weekend. For those wondering, by the way, I am still in I'm still in COVID jail at the moment. We'll try another test tomorrow, and if I'm COVID free, if I get released, we'll be headed to Oswego on Sunday. If I'm positive, unfortunately, we will not make the weekend. So, anyway, let's talk about point standings coming on in here for our 358 Modifieds. It is Sly Job, by the way, with the points lead. He's using this weekend as a drop. 217 points on his end and 2 wins in 3 races. Joseph Grandy is second with 188 points. Two-way tie for third between Brandon Templeton and Nick Vickery with 185. Randy Shreves is fifth with 180 points. Nice car count here for the weekend. 19 drivers are set to take the green flag with us here this weekend. And we're set to go. Qualifying brought to you by ABR Setup Shop. Let's get the first couple of drivers here on the racetrack. First one on the Speedway. We'll get him right here. Driver the number 69, Aiden Young. Aiden Young in cart number 69 comes on in with making his second start of the season in the 358s. Of course, see big cushion created here at the moment. Let's see where Aiden Young sets the bar. 15.591 for Young. Jeff Kemper goes to the top with a 15.52. Jeff Barker goes fourth quick. See if Young can improve his lap. Quickest of everyone in sector number 2. And it is a 15.591. Jeff Sharp, though, quick time. Nick Vickery faster. 15.479 for him. Great lap for stickers on the 00. Peter Brees in car number 74 off of turn number 4 looks to improve his lap. And he cannot. Slower on lap number 2. Randy Treves 13th quick, 15.629, looking to improve. Better in sector number 1. Is he better in sector 2? And he is quickest of everyone in sector 2, but off by 100th. Nope, he's quickest! 15.44 for Joseph Grandy on lap number 1. Second lap time for Joseph Grandy. Off by 0.2, but a beautiful lap by 0.04 of a second. 15.442. We've got a minute left in qualifying. And no penalties, so Dustin Sargent, Anthony Morano, they can go out if they want. But they better get going right now, and Anthony Morano says it's time to go. Pit road, by the way, for those wondering, in turns 1 and 2. Very slow in turns 1 and 2. He's testing the bottom out here. That's his lone lap. Morano goes 17th quick, 15.892. Joseph Grandy, the quick time, 15.442. A beautiful lap by the driver, your points leader in UMP modified action. And so we get set up for the first of 3 heats. Heat race number 1 brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. Langdon Mechanical, the second to none heat and air conditioning company in the Hamilton area, promising their customers that Langdon specialists will be there every step of the way, guaranteeing your customer satisfaction from start to finish. Starting lineup looks like this: Alex Pomelo and Charles Weaver on row number 1, Jeffrey Kemper, Joseph Grandy in row number 2, John Morano and Lance Ripka in row 3, Dustin Sargent starting from 7th position here tonight. No call for Sargent to the grid, by the way, for those wondering. Everyone makes the show regardless, so no need for a B main here tonight. Drivers following, by the way, for those wondering, the Steve King Foundation Pace Car, formed to help the dirt track racing community across the country by providing financial assistance to drivers, pit crew members, race officials, track ops personnel, or the immediate families of those individuals who suffer serious illness, injury, or death. Pomelo and Weaver bring us to green. Winner starts on pole position. 6 cars set to go racing here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Here we go. Pomelo immediately clears Weaver to take the early lead down the back straight. Not a good start for Jeff Kemper. Falls all the way back to 4th. Weaver taking a peek down on the bottom of the racetrack. Pomelo leading lap number 1. Weaver shutting the door on Joseph Grandy, but Grandy spins Weaver out sideways, stacks up Kemper. And so they fall to the back. Lance Ripka has the final official transfer spot. But that absolutely helps out Alex Pomelo in the 397 with a near 1 second lead. Just posted the quickest lap, 15.64, even better this time, 15.59. Joseph Grandy, though, quickest, 15:49. If we ride on board, see if there's damage to the 518. Doesn't look like it, but he's ripping the top next to the cushion. Halfway here in heat race number 1. Grandy closing in by just about half a car length. Morano opens up the door up top. Grandy got to be careful. Just about touching wheel to quarter panel. Another bumper. Morano goes sideways. Oh, man. Up and into the air he goes thanks to the Tory tire. He falls back to 4th, though. Joseph Grandy not afraid to use that chrome horn here early, and it's cost him more time. 1.6 seconds back on Alex Pomelo. Grandy and Ripka battle for 4th here, coming to the white flag this time. On the final lap here at Lucas Oil. Alex Pomelo out in front in the 397. The Canadian will start from pole position for our 30-lap feature here tonight. Grandy to finish 2nd, Ripka 3rd, Morano 4th, Kemper 5th, Weaver finishing in 6th. And so we get to heat race number 2. Heat 2 of this is brought to you by Magnum Race Design. And here's the starting lineup. Dean Meitzler and David Tormaschi on row number 1. Peter Brees and Nick Vickery, row 2. Randy Shreves, Anthony Morano, row number 3. Let us know, by the way, who you're rooting for in the 358s. We'll give you a shout out on the air. Lights are off the Steve King Foundation pace car. We go to green this time by. Set to get us going here for heat race number 2. Meitzler and Tormaschi bring us to the green flag. Oh, Brees nearly got sideways in turn number 2. Shreves gets stacked up. Vickery goes up to the 3rd position. As Meitzler leads lap number 1. Everyone staying single file. Better corner for Peter Brees. Gets a run. See if he goes to the inside. There he goes as he takes a peek underneath for the race lead. But Vickery gets the preferred line. He pulls up to the outside. We know how good Stickers is when he rides high, wide, and handsome. 2 laps are complete. Vickery, quickest lap last time by. 15:49 as your races for the lead down the back. Vickery inside. Some contact there with Meitzler. They get stacked up. Brees still with a shot. Look at the Ace Designs drone cam. All 6 drivers still in this battle. Vickery, big run. Oh boy, hang on, Meitzler. Just got a little bit sideways as Meitzler leads in the line. We're halfway home. Meitzler trying to play defense and slide up on Vickery off of turn 2. He does. Crisscross move for the 0-0. Pod tries to put the slider. Slides up. Doesn't want to hit Meitzler there. 49 leads but bounces off the wall. 2 by 2 into 1. Vickery on the slider. 3 wide for the race lead. Here comes Peter Brees down to the bottom. Oh, they make a lot of contact. Meitzler towards Vickery. Peter Brees to the race lead. Coming to 2 to go. We're 3 wide for 2nd. Vickery could still be the biggest winner in all this. We're 3 wide once again. Stickers goes 2 for 1. But hang on, folks. This battle ain't over yet. White flag is out. 1 to go. Vickery out in front. Peter Brees sends it into the inside, goes for the slider. Oh, we may have a chance here. He's going to have to send it to 3 and 4. Peter Breeze can't get the slider to work. Oh, something happened with Vickery. Where's Vickery? He disconnected. Breeze wins it. Breeze wins it. Nope, there's Vickery. Who's the winner? Vickery's got to be the winner of that. And yes, Vickery has scored the winner, by the way, for those wondering. Our timing just got a little bit iffy. Thanks, Vickery, for deciding to blink out at that time. Thought for a moment Vickery got disconnected. All right. Heat 3 brought to you by the Salty Dogs race team. Released from the home, many of the senior members of Coast to Coast. Whenever 3 or more dogs are in a race, a dog bone will be awarded to the highest finisher. Aiden Young and Jeff Barker making up row number 1. Mike Vitale and Jeff Sharp on row number 2. Steve Bixler and Paul Thompson round out the 3rd row. Pace car is in as we're set to go racing. Set for the green flag, and here we go. Young clears on Jeff Barker early. Vitale trying to get to the inside, looking for position number 2. Jeff Sharp thinking about throwing the needle, decides not to. Aiden Young leads lap number 1. Barker in 2nd. Sharp and Vitale still duking at it for the 3 spot. Again, everybody makes the show regardless of where you finish. Sharp around the outside, gets the 3 spot. Aiden Young, meanwhile, quickest car out there at the moment, 15:53. Barker off, though, by just about a couple of thousandths of a second. Check here at the line this time. Barker better by 100th. Sharp, though, I believe, had the much better lap of everyone. Everyone just being patient here, working the top side of the track. Some trying to dust the top off with their right rear sneaker. And again, you look from the Ace Designs drone. Look at this. Barker could have a chance. Got up to that clear Lexan spoiler of Aiden Young. But not going to bump him just yet. Going to be 2 laps to go this time in Heat 3. For Aiden Young as he leads. Winner starts from the 3rd position. There goes Sharp underneath. Slider line worked pretty well last time. Sharp just about touched the wall and lost a bunch of ground. Vitale goes for a chance for 3rd position. Final lap, and there goes Barker. Takes a peek underneath. Not going to work there, though. He's got one last shot in 3 and 4. He's up to the front tires of Aiden Young. Barker sledded way too much. That allows Aiden Young to pull away and win the heat. Jeff Sharp 3rd, Vitale 4th, Bixler 5th, Thompson 6th. Now it's time for our warm-up watch, brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Feature coming up in just a moment. Mike Vitale, quickest in the warm-ups. We are set to go for our second feature of the evening here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Here's the Super Dirt Car Series starting lineup. On the front row, Alex Pablo in the 397 and stickers Nick Vickery in the 00. Row 2, Aiden Young in the 69 and Joseph Grandy in the 518. Row 3, Peter Brees in the 074 and Jeff Barker in the 513. Row 4, Lance Ripka in the 125 and Randy Shreves in the 56. Row 5 in the top 10, Jeff Sharp in the 28 and John Morano in the 033. Row number 16, Meitzler in the 49 and Michael Vitale in the 213. In row number 7, you'll find Jeff Kemper in the 181, Anthony Morano in the 32. Row 8, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75 and Charles Weaver in the 511. Row 9, David Tormasci in the 33, Paul Thompson in the 337. That's the field for tonight's 30-lap feature. View from the Ace Designs drones as we're set to go racing. Lights are off the Steve King Foundation pace car as we are ready to go for green with the 358s. Give us your pick to win the chat. We'll make sure we give you a shout out on the air. Pablo and Vickery, the front row as we're set to go racing here for 30 laps at the Lucas Oil Speedway, underway with the small blocks. Vickery gets away with the race lead as Pablo tried to drift up the track. Aiden Young, I think, hit a little bit of a uke tire and lost a little bit of ground as they make their way off turn number 4. 18 cars come thundering to the line. Look out! Aiden Young. Contact off of Brees and Barker. They save it, though. Close call. But Young and Brees battle it out for the 5 spot on the track. Meanwhile, Vickery trying to pull away on Alex Pablo. 397 up on the spoiler of the 00. Top 3 under a blanket, battling for the race lead. Meanwhile, oh, look out. We got someone on their side. That's Morano. Luckily for him, he kept it straight. But off the wall he goes. Kemper now goes sideways. Steve Bixler went sideways as well. Jeff Sharp sideways. Everybody sideways here. Put our eyes back up to the front. Everyone working the top side. Joseph Grandy trying to test the bottom waters here for second position. Knows that's not working, so he just stays locked and tucked behind Pablo in that 397. Grandy now takes a look underneath. Tries to send it just a little bit early. 6 laps go up on the board this time. Pablo trying to look underneath. Morano's in trouble. Termashi's in trouble. No caution for now. They're stopped. They keep them going. How about that? Nice job from race control and from Barney to keep the green out. Top 3 battling for the race lead on your screen. Now the caution is out. We've got Bixler and Kemper sideways. Bixler nearly crab walking. So the first yellow flag is out. Let's show you what happened to bring the caution flag out. 337 caught the wall. That's Thompson, and then Bixler just got into Kemper, and a hard hit for Bixler. And now let's look at something else. John Morano and David Tormasci. Morano's in the orange 33. Oh, the 32 car of Morano got a uke tire. Of Anthony Morano gets John Morano, ironically, in that situation. So lights are still on the Steve King Foundation pace car. Don't forget, coming on up, we have our late models going at it here at Lucas Oil Speedway. That should be the talk of the town, of course, Lucas Oil Speedway. Always, you know they're going to host them, the Lucas Oil late models. So set to go back to racing here, reset the field. Nick Vickery, Alex Pomelo, row 1. Joseph Grandy, Jeff Barker, row 2. Aiden Young, Randy Trees, row 3. Peter Brees, Mike Vitale, row 4. Charles Weaver, Lance Ripka, row number 5. As they come into the Mission 22 restart zone, back to green as Vickery fires. And immediately clears on Alex Pomelo. Pablo has the preferred line in second. Aiden Young up into the 4 spot. Now looking for the 3 spot on Joseph Grandy. Barker getting held up by the points leader in the UMP division. Young, meanwhile, just finds a spot right behind Joseph Grandy. That keeps the 518 in 3rd position. They close up, though, on Alex Pomelo for 2nd. Vickery trying to find a way to pull away. Grandy now looking underneath for that runner-up spot. He may have a chance on Alex Pomelo. Arcs it well into turn number 3. But Pablo was able to keep his foot in the gas. 11 laps are complete. Pablo now all over Vickery for the race lead. There's another guy behind Grandy taking a look underneath. I want to say that was Brees in the 74. It was. Meanwhile, half a car length between the top 2. Your best battle on track for the race lead. Pablo, up the track he goes, way beyond the cushion. That allows Aiden Young to take away the 2 spot. Grandy, meanwhile, going underneath, trying to get back on the bottom step of the podium. Comes back up, it doesn't work. So now with that, this time by the way, cross flags going up 15 down. Nick Vickery leads. He's approaching some lap traffic. That's Paul Thompson in the 337. I expect him to get out of the way. Let's go to 3rd as Grandy once again taking a look down on the basement line on Pablo for 3rd. That doesn't work as Thompson lets the leaders go past. Meanwhile, Aiden Young all up over Nick Vickery. Spoiler as the battle for the race lead commences. Young just going to be patient here. He knows how to win the 358. But just remember, got to get through Nick Vickery to do it. One of the best in the 358 division. $12 to go. $11 this time at the line. Best battle on the racetrack. We can show you right here. Morano going against Meitzler. That's for the final spot in the top 10. Meitzler, though, gain away with the advantage. Everyone rocking it on the outside. But Vickery says it may be time to turn up the jets. Going to be 9 to go at the line for Nick Vickery. Next car he approaches is John Morano in the 033. Does Grandy still have a chance to get Pomelo? That's on board with Alex as he right on board for the rear end. Grandy was trying to get a lower lane to see if there was any bite in the middle of the racetrack, but it's not. It's just all slick down there. See Randy Street's trying to take a peek underneath. Says it's time to go, time to make my move. 7 laps to go, but the bottom's not working for anyone. It's completely top dominant. Meanwhile, Nick Vickery 7/10 of a second lead up on Aiden Young as that's Morano that gets out of the way to let the leaders pass. If Vickery wins, he's got a chance at the illustrious Triple Crown tonight. That's how I always call it. Meanwhile, for third, oh, look out! Gotta deal with traffic. Grandy all over Pablo for the spot. They nearly collided. Shreve says it's time to go to work on Barker for fifth. Now it's time to race. Slider attempt doesn't work. 4 laps to go at Lucas Oil Speedway. And again, this is your best battle on track. Shreve's trying to work the bottom. It's been quite a lot. Has it picked up any energy, though, is the question. Barker now looking down low. Crisscross attempt. Battles on for second as well, because we for third. Meanwhile, Aiden Young has taken the gap down on Nick Vickery. 3.5 of a second with 2 sticks up. This ain't over yet, folks. Aiden Young all over Nick Vickery in the battle for the race lead. White flag is out. If Aiden Young wants it, he's going to have to come and get it. It's a car length at the line. Aiden Young up on the spoiler. Tries to get a better exit. Doesn't work. Vickery picks up 1/10 of a second. Young tries to send it on the outside. It's not going to work. Stickers. 2 for 2 tonight at Lucas Oil Speedway. Young second, Pomelo third, Grandy fourth, and Shreves rounds out the top 5. And so top 3 will pose for a photo, and Vickery's got a chance for the Triple Crown, but it's going to be tough in the late models. Everyone's got his name written on their with their pencil on paper, knowing he is wicked fast here so far and has a chance at the late models. Get your top 3 on in here. Nice to see Pomelo on the podium, by the way. And they are all on in here. Let's begin with Alex Pomelo. Alex, that seemed to be a fun one out there, man. Just talk about your race.
Yeah, great race. Starting first in this final, but I think starting second is much better here because if you run in the top of the side in the caution, we help you a lot. I doing a couple of mistakes in the race, and I jumped the caution 2 times, and I think third position is good here tonight for me.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Yeah, of course, to my cousin from Team ATR, G Fuel Fox, Apex Design, and all supporters watching the streams. And to you guys in the booth, you're doing a great job. Thank you.
Much appreciated, man. We'll let you go. Great run.
Thank you.
Alex Pomelo finishing in third spot. Let's go to Aiden Young, our second place finisher. Aiden, that's got to be a tough break. You came oh so close to Nick. What more did you need in those final laps?
Yeah, just didn't need to make a couple mistakes that I did, and just was not trying to race him dirty. Just finish where I finished.
Any thoughts on trying out a slide job to go for the win?
I thought about it, but every time I thought about it, I would screw up a turn, and he got away.
Gotcha. Well, who do you want to give shout-outs to on this run, man?
I got to thank Cool Ray, as always, you for broadcast, and obviously the Gambler Motorsports team.
All right, man. We'll let you go. Nice job at the second place finish.
Thank you.
So another good run here for Aiden Young tonight. And now we go back to Cool Ray Victory Lane and talk with your race winner. Nick is 2 for 2 tonight. Nick, how was it out there?
I think I used all my luck for the night in that one. I was not the fastest car on the track by a long shot.
Was it just because the track was just too top dominant? Nobody could make a run on the bottom, really?
Yeah, I really don't know what it was. I know that I know Parmalu was all over me, and then he went off, and then Aiden reeled me in, and then went off, and then reeled me in again. So I think I just got lucky with how things fell tonight, and there wasn't a late race caution or anything like that.
All right. Overall, just how the car seemed to drive though for you? Did it seem to drive good though as a whole?
Yeah, to me, it didn't feel quite as good as the UMPs did. The top was a little harder to feel there than 358, but without a doubt, I think it was the fastest line on the racetrack. It's just a matter of, it's kind of like being at Lernerville. You gotta ride that edge, and if you go just a little bit too far, diving in just a little bit too hard, it'll make you pay.
Well, you've got a chance at the very rare and illustrious Triple Crown tonight. What's it gonna take to try and take a win here in the late models?
I think it's going to take some more luck being created. Like I said, I think I used all my luck in that race there, so I'm just going into the pro late model hoping for a good point tonight. I don't have to win it. If I finish in the top 5, I think I'll be happy.
All right. Well, we'll let you go, man. Great job tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Nick Vickery taking the win as he's in Cool Ray victory lane. For Nick here in the 358s, his second win of the season once again, back-to-back. Worst finish was a 23rd at Lanier, so it's 2 firsts and a second for him. Definitely going to be a threat once again for the title. Excuse me, let's give you your results here from this event. There they are. Nick Vickery wins by 0.2 of a second on Aiden Young. Alex Pomelo 3rd. Joseph Grandy 4th. Randy Shreves 5th. Jeff Barker 6th. Lance Ripka 7th. Peter Brees 8th. Mike Vitale 9th. And Anthony Morano 10th. 14 drivers left on the lead lap. So we will take another break. When we come back, it's late model time on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Stay with us.
This October, some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte and the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, presented by the Dirt Alliance. Fixed 360s, pro late models, and small block modifieds collide for 7 action-packed nights in a pursuit of a guaranteed purse of $1,500. 3 champions and an overall world champion will be crowned. Register now for this great event. Go to c2crl.com for more information. The World Finals run from October 21st to the 27th. 100% of registration goes to Mission 22 in their fight to end veteran suicide. A joint effort between the Coast2Coast Racing League, Friday Night Lights, and Dirt Track Bank, a division of Malvern Bank. Don't miss it.
in our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
The 50th Napa Super Dirt Week, October 3rd through the 9th. Racing, music, camping, and more. It's the 50th running of racing's biggest party, October 3rd through the 9th at Oswego Speedway. Don't miss the superstars of dirt car racing go wheel to wheel. Then stay for the live music and entertainment. Get your tickets now at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. Be there.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We are getting set to go now for the late models. Late models are brought to you by brought to you by Chip Bangers Racing. Mario Scala with you, and as we get set to go, let's do a couple of things. Let's take care of a couple of housekeeping items here. First off, let's give you the schedule for what is coming up next week on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Tomorrow night is Friday Night Lights, brought to you by Gears Unlimited. The small blocks, the crate lights, and the 305s are going to Kokomo. Monday, we have Monday Night Madness, brought to you by the Oswego Speedway at Knoxville Raceway for our 360 Sprint Car Divisions, the premier series on Coast to Coast. Tuesday night is, just gotta make sure here, Topside Tuesday, brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. We've got Midgets at Lanier, 410 sprints at Fairbury, and the trucks are at Atlanta, so that should be fun to watch. Wednesday night, the Hometown Heroes at Coolray here at Lucas Oil with 305 sprints, 360 sprints, the Small Block, Big Block Challenge, and Vet 360s. Thursday Night Thunder, brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Next week for us goes to Kokomo for UMP's 358s and Pro late models. Hello to Butch Baker watching in Oswego. I think he's in Oswego right now. One of the Coast to Coast members that is hanging out with us in Oswego this weekend. It is Dean, Isaac, Butch, Kevin Davis, I think one or two other guys. So, look at the point standings. Coming on into here for the Pro Late models. Nick Vickery looking for the Triple Crown tonight. 7-point lead on Aiden Young. 36 points back in third is Randy Shreves. Fourth with 171 points is John Hine. Fifth with 169 points. A tie for fifth, Jeff Barker and Brian Dickens. Currently the car count is 10 late models at the moment, but we've got a lot of stuff left to go. Maybe about 13 minutes before we go racing. Why don't we have a little bit of fun? Yeah, why don't we? If we got some time, let's take a spin here at Lucas Oil Speedway to show you what it's like. I'm gonna hook my wheel up here. Hopefully it can be read. And it is being read, so that's good. There's no controls I need to configure, thank goodness. Alright, let's take a drive here and show you what a lap is like here at Lucas Oil. And I actually, for those wondering, by the way, I actually just downloaded this recently. Okay, we were having a technical difficulty. I don't think my shifter is working. Nope, the shifter is working. It's the pedals that are not. Alright, so that explains they're gonna have to restart those, so we won't do that. We're gonna go right on board here for a couple of laps with Peter Brees. And we won't. We're on board Brandon Tumbleton. Let's keep it on here with Brandon. You can see the way the high side's working out. That wall comes up on you in an instant. That's for sure. Gotta be careful as well for the guys coming out of the pits off of turn 2 too. So that's what it's like on the lap at Lucas Oil Speedway. So we will put this on mute here. Oh, we're having some technical difficulties. Yeah, that'll be happening on occasion. Our iRacing servers will get a little bit funky on us. So, all right, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna restart this. We're gonna restart this and take a. Nope, actually, I think we're good. You know what? Yeah, we are gonna go to commercial here real quick. Give us 1 second while we restart this. All right, we are back, everyone. Apologies for the technical difficulties there. It should be simmered down now, so we are good to go. So with that being said, it's an opportunity to watch with your favorite drivers on the racetrack as qualifying should begin momentarily. Drivers meeting coming up in a matter of minutes. So practice is in the books. Now it's time for ABR Setup Shop qualifying. We've gone through the standings. We've gone through all that. Time to figure out who's starting in what heat. First driver to take a lap here is Charles Weaver and Brandon Templeton. Templeton will set the bar here on lap number 1. And it is a 14.469 for Brandon Templeton. Lance Ripka looking pretty good as well. He goes 14:51 on lap 2 and brings her in. Let's go to Steven Spies, third quick on the racetrack, 14:538. And a brand new paint scheme for him. Aiden Young goes up to third. 14:523 on lap number 1. Kurt Schatzer up to fifth, 14:56. Here comes Schatzer off at turn number 4, fifth quick on the racetrack. Superman looking to improve on his lap. And he does up to fourth, 14:53. Meanwhile, here's Nick Vickery, ladies and gentlemen, looking for the Triple Crown here tonight. Sixth quick on lap 1, 14:546. Lap number 2, we'll call it a lap there. So ABR set up shop. Qualifying is in the books. Brandon Templeton gets the fast time award of a 14.469. 2 heats expected here for the drivers. Car count is set at 12 tonight. So that means for Vickery, I like this strategy. 6th quick. He gets to start second in his heat race. Which means that will put Jeff Kemper and Randy Shreves on the pole position for the 2 heats that we have. By the way, update for those wondering. If you're watching Super Dirt Week, 11 to go in the past champions race. It's Stuart Friesenlee, Matt Shepard, Billy Dunn, Larry White, and Matt Williamson. So, set to go for our first heat, brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. So let's get the lineup here for heat race number 1. Jeffrey Kemper and Steven Spies on row number 1. Aiden Young and Brandon Templeton in row number 2. Peter Brees and Charles Weaver in row 3. Again, this is a battle for the pole position. You see the Steve King Foundation pace car rolling off. Moments away from taking the green flag. So glad you could join us throughout the night. By the way, if you're looking for other racers that enjoy race without all the drama and name calling or normal iRacing, come out and join the Cool Ray Coast to Coast Racing League. 16 divisions that race 7 days a week, and 12 of those divisions are broadcasted. Members know that they are a part of something bigger than just the on-track experience. Go to c2crl.com and click on Apply to join in on the action. The cars are virtual. The racing is real. Set forward the green flag. Winner will start on pole position here tonight. Kemper and Spies, bring us to green. Nice slider up from Kemper on the 55, takes the early lead. Spies crisscrosses down to the inside. I don't think it's going to stick off at turn 4. Kemper leads lap 1, but Spies was able to get some nice fight in the corner to keep the car going. Could clear Kemper here. Kemper scrapes the wall, and Spies takes the race lead away. A lot of power coming from Kemper, but he's side by side with Templeton for second. Kemper tries to dust the top off. Templeton, meanwhile, quickest lap of the race last time by, 14:69. Young and Brees behind, though, 14:76 and 14:70 respectively. So nothing working on the outside for right now. Opposite tail this time. Low line is working out well. Aiden Young now looking underneath Jeff Kemper for the 3 spot. think Youngby will be able to make it work, and not yet. Kemper leads the line for third. 3 to go in heat 1. Brees, meanwhile, all over in this battle for position number 3. 2 laps left. Steven Spies with a half-second lead on Brandon Templeton. Although their lap times just about identical, 14:66 to 14:65, their best laps. Templeton with the advantage. Last lap though for Spies, he was slower by 500ths. Final lap underway for the 55. Makes his way off turn 4. Steven Spies will start on pole tonight. Templeton second, Kemper third, Young fourth, Brees fifth, Weaver sixth. Final heat race this evening brought to you by Magnum Race Design. Randy Shreves and Nick Vickery on the front row. Kurt Schatzer, Lance Ripka in row number 2. John Hine and Jeff Barker from the third row. No drivers have any penalties this week, so none of them have to go to the rear in the heats or features, so that's always a good sign to see. Steve King Foundation pace car is in. We go green in a half lap's time. Vickery and Shreves bring us to green flag racing here. Here we go for heat race number 2. Side by side, and they're 3 wide for third spot. Hine took a peek underneath to go 2 for 1. Doesn't work though. Meanwhile, Vickery, Shreves side by side, and Stickers leads lap number 1. Ripka, oh my goodness, huge send for Barker. He goes sideways, same with Ripka. And they'll start from the rear tonight. Ripka's just gonna park it. Meanwhile, for second, Schatzer on the attack on Randy Shreves for the 2 spot. Up the track goes Shreves. John Hine throws the elbow at him meanwhile, and the Professor is up to third. Three laps are in the books, and Vickery with a 1-second lead. Looking to start second here in our 30-lap feature with the late models. And again, looking for the Triple Crown tonight. 1 in the UMP Modifieds and 1 in the 358s. Schatzer second, Hine third, Shreves fourth, Barker fifth. Ripka will start from the last position tonight. 2 laps to go now for the driver of the 00. Vickery, your points leader in late model competition. Let's finish the top 10. We finished on the podium in every race this season. First last week at Limaland, third at Williams Grove, second at Lanier. And checkered flag is out. Vickery takes the heat win. Schatzer second, Hine third, and Shreves fourth. So Vickery will start from second as we go to the Flatline Racing Bodies warm-up watch. Feature coming up in just a moment here at Lucas Oil. Checkers are out here, and ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Coolray, the Coast to Coast Racing League, Flatline Racing Bodies, and all the fine drivers and sponsors, we thank you so much for choosing to spend your Thursday night with us. It is now time to meet the field of 12 that are ready to take the green for 30 laps here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the Super Dirt Car Series starting lineup. On the front row, Steven Spees in the 55, and the man everyone's chasing here all night, Nick Vickery, in the 00. Row number 2, Brandon Templeton in the 31, and Superman Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Row number 3 is Jeff Kemper in the 181, and the Professor John Hine in the 71. Row 4, Aiden Young in the 69, and Randy Shreves in the 56. Row 5, that's Peter Brees in the 074, and Jeff Barker in the 513. And rounding out the field tonight, Charles Weaver in the 511, and Lance Ripka in the 125. Lights are off the Steve King Foundation pace car. 1 lap away from going green flag racing. Steven Spees and Nick Vickery make up the front row. Who's it going to be? How's it going to be done? There's always a favorite out there. Pick it ASAP, because we are set to go racing. It's time for the Dylan Westbrook Racing start. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now, from coast to coast? A triple crown is on the line. It's showtime at Lucas Oil Speedway. Here we go. Spees gets out with a nice jump. Vickery has to get on the binders. Spees and Templeton side by side for the race lead as they go into turn number 3. The Dirt Track Bank 31 cannot slide up off of turn 4. Lap 1 is led by the 55. 2 by 2 at speeds of just about 100 miles an hour. Speeds in the clear for the race lead. Vickery challenges for second. Up on the outside. Can Stickers get it? He can. So nice battle between the two teammates for second spot. Schatzer and Kemper going after fourth. Here's the view from the Ace Designs drone. Vickery trying to challenge underneath. He lets Speeds clears. Meanwhile for third, Templeton loses a spot to Schatzer. Superman tries to send it underneath on Vickery. Doesn't work. 3 cars battling for second spot, while Spees currently leads them. Spees the fastest car on the racetrack, 14:77. Last lap, a slow lap for Vickery last time by. At a 14:9, but a quarter of a second though behind Steven Spees. Templeton still trying to challenge on Schatzer for third. Meanwhile for fifth, Peter Brees on the attack on John Hine. Brees already up 3 spots from the drop of the green flag, so he is having a little bit of fun at the moment. You see behind them as well, Aiden Young, Randy Shreves, that's for 7. And the Professor holding off Brees for right now. Templeton trying to take third back from Schatzer, but here we go with the race lead. Vickery trying to diamond 3 and 4. 8 laps are complete as Spees continues to lead. Vickery right there all over the bumper of Spees. He right on board with the 00. Trying to diamond his way through the corners. 10 laps are complete. This time by 20 laps to go. Everyone, again, right in the top, just like it's been through most of the night. Top dominant here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Templeton looking for a run down to the inside. It doesn't work. Spees and Vickery running just about identical laps here at the moment. Spees, though, just about faster last time by 0.08 of a second. John Hine ran his best lap of the day, 14:85, and is closing in on Templeton for fourth. But here goes the 31 to the inside, challenging Schatzer for third. Low line again, not working out for a lot of good drivers here tonight. From the rear of Superman. Again, everyone ripping the top here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Spies, Vickery, Schatzer, Templeton, Hine. That's the top five. Brees, Young, Shreves, Kemper, Ripka, Weaver, Barker round out the field. Again, Templeton trying, but just can't find a way to pull up to the door on corner exit. Cross flags up, 15 up and 15 down. Templeton faked the inside move, but we still focus up front for the race lead. Spies versus Vickery dueling at it. You see another diamond from Stickers that time. And a lower exit from the 00. It's a consistent gap though. Vickery last lap was 600ths better. We've completed 17 laps, 13 laps to go. A lot of patience here throughout this field at the moment, as Vickery trying to time the move right and try to set it up, and also pressure the 55 to make a mistake. You saw Vickery go very wide, entering the corner, looks inside, fakes out of it. $11 laps to go. Car length advantage for Spies there at the stripe. Aiden Young, by the way, has made his way up to 6th position. About a minute ago, got past Peter Brees for the spot. 10 laps remain. Here's a run. Templeton nearly hits the Uke tire. Sends it underneath on Schatzer. Got third of the exit of turn 2. But of course, the exits really matter. Meanwhile, Hine gained a challenge from Aiden Young for 5th position. Meanwhile, Vickery trying to take a look to the inside. On Spies, nothing's working. Going back to 3rd. Templeton can't get third at the line. Schatzer has it with 8 laps to go. Oh, but Templeton didn't have a lot of yaw there in turn 1. He hit a tire. Opens up the door for Aiden Young. Uses the 31 as a pick to maybe go up 2 spots here. 7 laps to go. Still the lead 2/10 for Spies on Vickery. Focused on this battle very closely. Again, Vickery looking for the Triple Crown to sweep the entire night. Five to go at the line. Vickery may have to set up a slider here. Let's go to 4th. Young almost got 4th spot at the line over Brandon Templeton. Oh, so close. Now we go back up to the front of the field. Spies still with the advantage. He's led all 26 laps tonight, but the most important lap you want to lead is that final lap. Vickery all over Spies for the race lead. Schatzer by himself in 3rd. Young has edged out Templeton for 4th off for 2. And problems for Schatzer. Schatzer's gone way wide. Back to 6th he goes with 3 laps to go. Still a quarter of a second lead. Identical lap times for Spies and Vickery last time by. 2 sticks are up. 2 laps to go. It's going to come down to the wire. Even lap times last time by. Both 15:26s. If Nick Vickery wants it, he's going to have to come and get it. Final lap is underway. Lot of yaw for Spies off for turn 2. Gets the power off. Vickery's going to have to send it. He takes a peek underneath. Tries to go for the slide job and off for turn 4. Oh, Spies catches him out. Steven Spies edges him out. Oh, man, the Triple Crown was in sight. Spies edges him out in a photo finish. What a race, folks. What a race we had tonight at Lucas Oil. Caution free, and Steven Spies holds off Nick Vickery and prevents the Triple Crown from happening. And that was a perfect move from Vickery. I don't blame him one bit. He could have gone for the slide job, but he knew Speeds was still going to have a run. Just enough bite for Vickery there. But not in... Wow, look how close that is. What's iRacing say for timing? They say 0.04 of a second for Speeds. Let's see if we can get a good pick of that shot. Wow. What a finish at the end. The fans went nuts. So top three will pose for a photo for Steven Spies meanwhile. His first win of the season. Was second last week at Limaland. Let's begin by talking with your top three. First off, Aiden Young finishing third. Aiden, nice run for you. Nice charge to get up to the end to finish in third. Just talk about the run.
Just a good run. Just wish I would have had a little more. I just missed the lines a lot there at the beginning and kind of screwed myself.
Absolutely. Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
I gotta thank Cool Ray as always. They're a big supporter of my stuff here on iRacing, and obviously you for broadcast, and obviously John and Steven for racing with me tonight.
All right. We'll let you go. Great job tonight.
Thank you.
Aiden Young finishing third. Let's go to him. Nick Vickery, oh so close to the Triple Crown, man. That's got to be a tough pill to swallow there. Just talk about your perspective there in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, I think whoever made it to turn 1 first won that race. Me and Speeds were talking afterwards, and it's one thing to win a race or to get the crown or whatever, but I don't know if the camera was on him in turns 1 and 2 on the last lap, but he got really, really sideways in the middle of the corner, and I lifted to stay out of him. I think we all run in this league with a lot of respect, and I definitely don't want to win the Triple Crown by doing that, right? So all you can do is pack her up and try and come back next week. But yeah, I mean it feels good to have a good points night in really all 3 divisions tonight.
Absolutely, man. A good points night for you. Did you think when you got the run off of turn 4 there was just enough bite? Did you think you had enough to edge him out at the end?
I don't know. I knew that he ran like a modified slider line in 3 and 4, basically, or at least that's what it looked like for my car. So I knew that I could potentially have some momentum coming off. And then when I come off the corner, I kind of went up the track a little bit, and then I saw him a little bit and left him room, and he just barely edged me out. I think it was 0.039. So could really ask for a much better finish to try to cap the night off with the Triple Crown. But we'll have to come back next week and try again.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Definitely got to shout out Spartan Racing. I'm not sure where Lance finished in this one, but we've had good runs all night, so definitely can't complain too much there. After that would be VMR Wraps. If anybody out there needs a wrap, come check us out on Facebook at VMR eWraps. Got to thank Andy over at Cool Ray. He does a lot for a lot of people, so definitely got to shout him out any chance I can. And then, of course, you got to thank you for putting on a great show. I'm sure there was a lot of excitement in all 3 races tonight, so as always, I look forward to going back and watching it.
Oh, you're going to enjoy that finish call, man. Great job.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
You too. Nick Vickery finishing in second. It's time to go to Cool Ray Victory Lane and talk with your race winner. Steven Spies gets it done. Wow, what a finish. How does that feel?
Feels like I kind of messed up the last lap and gave him a shot to get there. That's kind of how it feels.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you had a good run on. I thought you had a good gap in the X to turn number 2, but Nick just talked about it. You were a little bit sideways in the center of 1 and 2. Just what happened there?
Well, I wanted to modify my line just a little bit. I figured last lap he might try something, so I wanted to keep it straight, and I just came in a little too hot and entered lower than I had been, and just got it crossed up a little bit, and then kind of did the same thing in 3 and 4, getting into the corner. I was kind of off rhythm, so I just, driver error finally that last lap. I should have just stuck with what I was doing. It was staying out front, and instead of trying to race against what was behind me, should have just kept looking forward. But it ended up close, and gave you something fun to call, so that's good.
You two were consistent the entire race. I think he was always within 800ths of you when I was looking at the lap times every lap. What I want to ask is, though, did you expect him to take a peek underneath for that win and try and throw a slider?
Yeah, I figured he'd try something. I was too focused on my line to look down and kind of see what the gap to third place was, so I wasn't sure if there was another car back there, if it was just Nick. So, I figured if he had any sort of gap, he'd give it a try and see if there's anything down there. But that track, unfortunately, was pretty one lane. It was kind of like racing Eldora without the wall, but it worked out for me. I got lucky somehow and beat him into the turn 1 and was able just to get up there. Had Nick been out front, I wouldn't have been able to get around him. So it was just luck of starting up front and getting into that first corner in front of him.
Well, next week, taking a look. You still there?
Yeah, I got you, Mark.
All right. Sorry, my internet died out there for a second. Kokomo next week, what's the outlook like?
Kokomo in the pro late models and the fixed set can be tough until the track slicks off. These things in this fixed set don't turn very well, and that track can be tough, but it's really fun to put the right rear up on the cushion and run around. Normally I don't enjoy running the fence, but Kokomo is the one where I make an exception. So hopefully I'll be available and come back and see if we can repeat.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Who do we want to shout out tonight? I mean, we always have to say thanks to Cool Ray and everything that Andy does for the league. Also as part of Chip Bangers for sponsoring this particular series. Shout outs to the Gambler teammates, John and Aiden, coming in and running tonight. Sounds like Aiden had a couple of good runs throughout the night, so that's awesome to hear. And as always, the folks that tune in and actually watch and listen to us jibber jabber after the races and listen to your exciting calls during the race, hopefully we put on a little bit of a show at the end, even though it was kind of one lane before that.
Oh, you absolutely did, man. We'll let you go, man. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, Marty.
Steven Spees wins as he celebrates in Cool Ray Victory Lane. Cool Ray's goal is to make sure that Ray's tradition of 100% customer satisfaction lives on today. Cool Ray is proud of their reputation of providing excellent service to homeowners and businesses in Georgia. Their mission is to continue to provide Their mission is to continue to build long-lasting relationships with their customers through their winning spirit and commitment to 100% satisfaction, guaranteed. Look at your race results here from tonight. Every driver finished on the lead lap and caution-free. How about that? Spees wins it by 400ths on Nick Vickery, Aiden Young third, Brandon Templeton fourth, and John Hine rounds out the top 5. So that'll do it for us here tonight. Don't forget the schedule coming up here these next couple of days here. Tomorrow night, Friday Night Lights is at Kokomo. On Monday, Monday Night Madness is at Knoxville. Tuesday, we've got Topside Tuesday at Lanier, Fairbury, and Atlanta. Wednesday night is Hometown Heroes at Lucas Oil as well as Fairbury. And next week for us, we go to Kokomo. On behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League, all the fine drivers and sponsors, Roger Craig and Preston Kramer, our main admins, Marty Sakala signing off. Congratulations to Nick Vickery, his wins in the UMP and 358, and Steven Spees in the late model. So long, everyone.